devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand. Call
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Let me double check that my audio is on my mic. Bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. Okay, there we go. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you so much for joining me on DLD After Dark. Man, we kind of got a crazy one tonight. I had a really difficult time watching this video. If you've ever seen a video that left you not only scratching your head, but shaking your head, and not only shaking your head, but like literally about to like throw your head in your lap, like, yo, what are you doing? Are you this is a badge cam. We're gonna watch it in a little bit, but man, like you really have to consider a different profession. No, not even consider. You must exit the role of law enforcement officer immediately, bro. This dude, oh man, I don't even want to. I don't want to give too much away, but woof! Like this dude tied a tourniquet like with a bow tie, like he was tying shoelaces. But by the way, the reason he was tying a tourniquet is because he shot a civilian that he wasn't supposed to shoot. Yo, this is gold. It's just, man, oh man, it's gonna be a good one. And of course, we'll have all the other crazy conversations that we have every single night too. But this is one that if you have not seen, you need to see it as like this is what not to do conversation. And it's not like a crazy long video or anything, but it's filled with great information of what not to do. I would actually say, personally, I would say that every single one of my viewers as you know, I would guess like 99.9% of them are just, you know, dirty civilians, just like me. Excuse me. I would bet that every single one of my viewers would have done a better job in the gunfighting aspect of this video. Excuse me. In the basic, like the minimal, like basic level of awareness in the video, and then the medical aspect of the video, where homie literally ties like a bow on the tourniquet. I mean, have you ever applied a tourniquet? Have you ever practiced applying a tourniquet? Like it's a joke. Anyway, we're gonna get it. I mean, it's not a joke because thank God the guy didn't actually need a tourniquet because if he did, he would have been gone. If he actually had arterial bleeding, and this is why it's so important. We say all the time, like, you know, a lot of us civilians actually train way more than law enforcement. Dude, if this video that we're gonna watch tonight, this evening, if this is a reflection of how law enforcement is trained, I just think the dude couldn't hold his stuff together, and then other training or lack of training incidents kind of like all it's like everything snowballed up to like this moment where you shoot the wrong person and then you uh tourniquet him incorrectly and then you shoot at the guy that you were supposed to have shot and then he kind of flees and sits down. Just everything, like tactically it's wrong, the medical is wrong, the dude, the other dude, his boy was just like literally not doing anything. I just can't believe, like, when I watched this, I was like yelling at the screen. I was like, are you serious? That's not exactly what I said, but you guys could get the point. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into it. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. I was gonna say that we should do this on the Green Place because of some of the aspects of the. Oh, really, bro? Really, bro? Come on. That thing just dropped like 6 inches. You saw that? T. Bro, come on. Why you do that? Oh, my arm isn't like healed yet, so it kind of hurts to do that. So give me a second. Let me get this dang old figured out. I'll tell you what. All right. Hold up. Maybe if I just do that. There we go. We'll have to do this. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. We'll do a quick little intro. Welcome, everybody. We'll say what's up. And then we're going to get into this just like grotesquely poor performing badge cam that will leave you wanting to throw something hefty at your device that you're watching this on. So you're going to love it. But it's all about taking information in so we can learn more and do better. And like we always say when we talk about stuff like this, your body will never go to a place that your mind hasn't gone. So that's why we go over things like this so we can get better, learn more, and not be dead if we ever have to get in a gunfight. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Dark with DLD After Dark. We got a great show tonight lined up, and I have a great guest that I'm lining up for the coming days. It's either going to be Thursday, maybe Saturday, but if I get this individual to come on Saturday, I think this is going to be a big deal. Such a big deal. All of y'all love this individual. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. So if you guys don't know, even though YouTube didn't come out and say that they were reducing our ad revenue by 50% again, my ad revenue is actually down by about 50%. I don't know. They be doing this the turn of every new year. But either way, about 86.6% of the channel support is all from channel members. So I appreciate y'all so much, man, for real. Channel members, y'all are like just the OGs. You guys are the battery cells running the channel. So thank you so much. And I appreciate y'all and your energy. You know what I'm saying? Not just the energy of you powering the channel, but also when you guys come up and show up and chat and hang out, man. I love that so much. Let's go ahead and do the quick little intro. So for people that have never been here before, obviously we know that YouTube doesn't show my content to brand new people because why would they do that, right? We're way too dangerous in the way that we speak about freedom, independence, and liberty, and they just can't have that. So if you are new, there's always one person that's like, I'm new here. If you are new, go ahead and, shout out in the comments, welcome a new person, and we will welcome you with open arms and probably accuse you of being a federal agent. But that's okay. Welcome. They do it to everyone, so don't feel bad. Anyway, because we know that YouTube doesn't show this content to new people, we're going to go ahead and welcome all of our OGs, all of our channel members, and we'll get the show started. But if this is indeed your first time at watching one of the shows, then welcome. And I don't believe you, but welcome. And if you are going to maintain that position, that this is indeed your first time, then I would encourage you to get in chat, hang out with the folks, the folks over here in the chat, or if you're watching on mobile down below, are super based, just super dope, good people, awesome people. And I encourage you guys to hang out. And if you do hang out and feel like you get value from this show, this conversation, then I would encourage you to subscribe, like, share with your mom and all that stuff. And appreciate you being here and hanging out. But if this is your first time, then just so you know, we're going to take the next 10 minutes or so to welcome all the channel members and all the OGs, and we're going to get into it. Also, if you're watching this the next day or the next day or the next day, do me a favor and shout out with a comment: Replay Mafia, recapitulation syndication, fried beans, reheating the leftovers, all the crazy stuff that you guys put in the chat in the comments. I love it. So thank you. And actually, funny thing, a lot of people have actually been saying, like, yo, thank you so much for playing the Devil in a Red Dress song instead of like anyway, a lot of people love that Devil in a Red Dress song. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We're also going to be talking about a couple other things when it comes to equipment, if I may. Yeet. Look at this bad boy right here, bro. And yes, that thing yeeted as I pulled it out of the pocket. This thing is nasty. We're going to be talking about this and some more stuff. Also, it's a button lock. What? I know. Also, it's a flipper. What? I know. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about some equipment stuff. We're also going to talk about some equipment stuff. Bro, did you know that the Goon, yeah, lots of stuff about equipment, Goon Beam, and all that. And a couple of things we're going to hit on tonight, but we got to watch that video. Ow, dang. This thing is killing me, man. This is probably the last like day and a half has been like the first time that I actually feel like I'm starting, like my arm is starting to get better though. Ooh, it's been brutal. And honestly, a lot of it, like a lot of you guys were right. A lot of it was about diet, hydration, electrolytes, collagen for rebuilding the micro tears in my tendon. Bro, so much damage. I didn't even know though that like you could have tendonitis and have like pain. Basically with micro tears, if it gets to a point where the degeneration is at a faster pace than the regeneration, and you're not resting your arm and all that like I should have been. I haven't been like doing anything. I haven't been like dry firing. I haven't been drawing from a holster or anything like that. And I'm trying to save all that for when I can get back to shooting, because man, it sucks. It sucks not being able to shoot, dude. It's brutal. It's coming up on about a month now, and it's just terrible. It sucks. But it can actually go from apparently something from tendonitis to apparently something called tendinosis, which is like permanent tendon damage that's just like destroyed forever, and there's nothing you can do, and that sucks. And that's also life. So, and it's funny because like a lot of people were like, well, you just use your left hand. And even my daughter, who by the way is 8 years old, is like, well, daddy, why don't you just shoot with your left hand? And I'm like, yeah, it's not just that, right? I need to actually live a life, and I need to, how many packages I got to get out? Like I got, it was funny though. It was cute. It was cute. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So I appreciate all you guys being here. For wheel. Let me just see before we jump into it. Welcome everybody that's coming in, man. Appreciate y'all. Stream and mute. What? Stop playing. Are you saying it's oh yo? I literally thought you were gonna say that this was muted, and I was like, that's it. I quit. I'm done. No more stream tonight. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So first in chat tonight, your boy dang old Matt was first in chat. Appreciate you, brother. Let's do a crisp high five. Thank you, brother. And before we get into the whole intro, I'm gonna get a sip of Wada and some nicotine. So enjoy this these quick messages.
This shit's gonna blow up.
No, it won't blow.
All right, for sure.
You know, I wonder if dude, I just saw this video. Every time I see it, we got to run it. So yeah, we got to run this. Enjoy. For people that don't know, I guess it could be much earlier in the day on the West Coast. Someone gets hit in the gooch with a wireless hole punching device. So yeah, just to let you know. You know, I've aired that now probably 100 times. And today was the first time that I actually read the Spanish. I'm pretty sure that said vasectomia gratuitita, which means a free vasectomy. Yo, if that's any Spanish speakers out there, pretty please, if you could give me the translation on that. Woof, that's terrible. Anyway, Dangle Matt, first in chat, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. We got Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for hanging out. Channel member and a moderator. So put some spec on his name. We got Drewski, lifetime channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for coming in and hanging out. He says 21,700 batteries for the Saber light from Goombeam. I'm ordering extra batteries for it. Solid bright light for at least a quarter mile strong. Dang, that's crazy. That's what's up. Which one is the Saber? I might have it. I don't know. I have another one. It's honestly, it's like the we're going to talk about this little light holster thing. It's like the assault light, which you do if you're going to use a little holster like this, you do have to modify the clip gang. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pro at modifying polymer, you know what I'm saying? But it's similar to this, but in Goombeam, you could speak on it if it's something that you still have or will never have again. But it's like this, but it has a deep carry pocket clip that actually screws in here and goes all the way up and then bends back down. I don't know. I think it's over there on the other side of my gun room, so I don't know if I can grab it. I could grab it later probably, but let me know if that's something that you still got, or like what even is that, or where did it go? Where did it come from? Where did I get it? How did I even get it? Anyway, appreciate you, man. Steve Whoop, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. And here's a Goombeam right here. Make America our greatest ally again. Make America our greatest ally again. That's interesting. That is an interesting perspective. You know, it's almost like if we were to get, like, I don't know, a man that portrays himself as a super conservative Christian individual as the new director of the FBI or deputy director of the FBI, whatever. And someone asks him, what's the thing that's, the most near and dear to your heart? And he says, almost without even taking a breath, Israel and the defense of Israel. What? Now, I will be fair and I'll say this. I've only heard a person playing that recording. I have not actually seen the recording or the video myself. So I can't confirm that that is 100% true, but If true, that's interesting. It's almost like as soon as people get in power, they be anyway. Go ahead and get your dual citizenship ready. Let's see. Goonbeam, Drewski, Steve Whoopski. Good to see you guys. Eric Stockbridge, brother, also with Chenamemba. Great to see you, my guy. Appreciate you so much. Kurt 24, Drewski, Steve Whoopski, Zanti Misfit, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you. When are they going to fix this? You hear me, YouTube? When are you going to actually allow the emojis that my channel members really pay for? When you gonna like allow those things to work on the computer instead of only working on mobile? You know how ridiculous and stupid it is when I pull up a comment and it says DLD hardware, Kimlot, Kimlot. Like, bro, come on, man. And plus, there's so many cool emojis. Like, why can't you? You can figure it out. You're just lazy. All right, let's go through. Let's see who else we got. Stifler Manufacturing, brother. Great to see you as well. Also with Chenamemba. And also make sure you check him out. Stifler Manufacturing has a store, several stores. Like he's got his own website. He's got eBay store. He's got a bunch of really, really dope slides for your Gliznocks out there, your Gen 3 Glizzies, your I think you got some Gen 5 stuff too, right? Am I tripping? No. But either way, if you're building stuff, obviously in the building realm and the printing realm, Gen 3 is king, right? So but still, either way, he's got some really dope stuff, especially if you're doing like some ported barrel stuff. And I think he said also that you could use code dark. Am I tripping, Stifler, or am I misremembering? I might be misremembering. I'd be doing that. Let's see. Zanti Misfit, Eric Stockbridge. Let's see. Flying Rich, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you. I think I missed a call or two from you today. And then I called you during your show. It was just crazy, crazy day. We got to touch base on some stuff, man. Let's see. Zanti Misfit, Flying Rich, which Flying Rich is also a channel member and a moderator. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. We got Johnny Zanti Misfit, Johnny Ba. Great to see you, brother Johnny Ba. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you also with channel member. Let's see. Zanti, Flying Rich Ski, Eric Stockbridge Ski. A Day, brother. Great to see you also with channel member. Marconi, the mod Marconi. And another one of our good friends that also has some super dope Glock stuff. Yo, check out Marconi. I believe you can also use code dark with them. By the way, like I don't get anything. I'm just saying, like, we want to get, my viewers discounts. That's why we, do this stuff. Not like necessarily for me, for y'all. So check out Marconi. I do have one of his V1s, and man, probably the sexiest Glock slides out there, period. But the second generation or V2 of his slides have this huge chunk port that they've very, very carefully and costly machined out. And so it has a big chuck port at the top, and then they've machined out the rifling after the port, so you don't get like, jacketing and stuff like flying out of there, like, all up in your face. Anyway, it's super, super dope. And it's like for the cost of a Radian Ramjet, you can get an entire Glock, slide barrel and all that stuff. So, totally worth it. And it's probably the sexiest Glock slide out there. A-Day, Zanti Misfit, not my name, brother. Great to see you. Also with Chanamemba. Appreciate you. Marconi. Let's see. Eric Stockbridge. Mike McClune, the Goon. Brother, great to see you. Also with Chanamemba. A bowl of chili and cheese and Cheez-It white cheddar. Cheez-Its on I need to try that, man. I've never tried that before. Cheddar crackers was dinner at work tonight, bro. Chili is where it's at, dog. I love chili. I make chili and I just let it, run for like 3 days, and I just literally lunch and dinner for 3 days. John Crump News, brother, great to see you. Although my daughter won't eat that. She's like, it's too spicy and sweet. I'm like, but that's the point. You make it's the sweet and heat, John Crump News, brother, great to see you. Appreciate you coming and hanging out. Also a moderator. Drewski, John Crump Newski. Let's see. Dang, John Crump, Marconi. Sport Brand, brother, great to see you. Also a moderator. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Mike McClune, the Goon. Fed, Honeypot. I told you, care. That's probably why we can't get new people in here anymore. They're like, hey guys, I'm new here. I just wanted to say hi. Fed, honeypot, trickster, Anyway, sorry. Eric Stockbridge, Johnny Bob, Mike McClune. Let's see. Stifler Manufacturing, Stiffmeister in the house. Stifler's mom. Sees Anti Misfit, Sport Brand, Eric Stockbridge, John Crump News. Hey, got a cheese. Great to see you. Man, my printer's been running like almost 24/7, and I still haven't been able to print a freaking frame or anything like that. I really want to do the Hitchhiker. Crump was doing the Hitchhiker. I really want to put something like that together. I just haven't had the time to because I'm using my machine for production for DLD hardware. And I saw somebody, one of the viewers actually, it's funny because most of the people that actually purchase stuff from DLD hardware aren't viewers. They're just people that are looking for jigs and they just, find the site. But I saw someone recently placed an order that was a viewer. So you know what I did? I threw some extra stickers, like a big old thick thing of stickers in there, plus all the stickers that like other people probably will never even know existed or that are available, which really they're not really available. I just got them. I took the last like 50 stickers from a bunch of other ones that we made, we made, whatever. And so got some stacks of them sitting over there. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hook it up. And then I threw another nice little surprise in there for the individual. So shout out to you. But I will let y'all know for the people that like purchase merch off there, the merch doesn't go through me. So like shirts, hats, the lazy roofer backpacks and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that doesn't go through me. So that random company in the UK making your package isn't going to throw F the ATF stickers in there. Unfortunately, I wish they would, but unfortunately, it's not how it works. Steve Whoop, Sport Brand, get a cheese, Steve Whoop, John Crump, no skis. Let's see who else we got. Yes, indeed, that is a Karambit. Let's see, Sport Brand, and usually I'm not a Karambit kind of guy. I appreciate them. I think they're great for certain things, but I don't know. There was just something about that. I'll pull it out. I'll show you all again in a second. Good for picking grapes. Good for picking grapes. Let's see, Sport Brand, Stifler Manufacturing. Hey, Ruby on the Ridge, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you so much, man. Let's see, John Crump News, Johnny Ba, Sport Brands, Anti Misfit, Johnny Ba. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm super behind. I'm just catching up. Nutshot. This is how far back I am. Sport Brand, get a cheese. Steve. Let's see. Let me get caught up here, and guys, just enjoy this for a brief moment.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get me a beer.
Steve Whoop. Let's see. Sport Brand. I'm working on this. Peace. Okay. Cool. Mark Ligon, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see who else we got. Steve Woo, Mark Ligon. Hey, Agorizer, brother. Great to see you, man. Ow, I can't be saluting with the right hand. Jova Q, brother. Great to see you. Appreciate you. Also a moderator. Let's see. Jova Q, Sport Brand. Jova Q, Agorizer. Hey, Thomas Payne, bro. Where you been at, dog? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in. Java Q, Sport Brand, John Crump News. See, Agorizer, Marconi. Stifla, Marconi. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Let's see, Agorizer, Sport Brand, Stifler, Blue Curtain Burner, brother. Great to see you, man. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Let me know any other content creator that literally goes through one by one and brings up and introduces every single channel member. Because I don't know anyone that does it. And is it a little ridiculous? Absolutely. Am I going to stop doing it? Actually, I don't know. I might have to eventually. But still, I appreciate y'all so much, man. So I got to show some love. Fat Rooster, brother, great to see you. Man, it's funny. I really, really thought I was going to be able to make this thing work, which was going to be the thing I was sending out to you. and I don't think I'm going to be able to make it work. I was trying to do the Gen 5 17 frame with the Gen 5 19 slide with the Radian Afterburner on it, because someone else had done it, and he says he runs it. And unless he made, which they were talking about the things that you'd have to do, the modifications to the frame, and I just think it would potentially compromise the structural integrity of the Glock, which is like the reason that I run Glocks, because of their structural integrity and longevity. So it would probably be too ridiculous to do. So I'm probably going to send you something else. But anyway, I appreciate your patience, and can't wait to get something out to you, buddy. Anyway, I appreciate you, brother. Also with Chenamemba, Fat Rooster. And let's see. Hey, bro, Ruby on the Ridge of the $4.99 super chat, and no message. Feel free to send a message along, brother. Is that Rudy Finney? Is that Rudy on the Ridge? Or is that someone? It's hard to keep up with the name changes, bro. But thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate you, dude, for real. Thank you. And hey, here we go. We got Anderson Manufacturing in the chat. Kyle Wade, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you so much, man. I have seen so many bad cop videos. It's rather horrifying to think that these videos just seem to be getting worse and worse. They do, man. It's crazy, bro. When I watched this, I was like, okay, y'all remember the whole defund the police movement? Yeah, that's partly why we're here. Also, a totally suffering uh, general populace, and the fact that Yuri Bezmenov was right, 40 years ago. I don't know, maybe 35 years ago, how to completely destroy a nation without firing one singular shot. Yuri was right. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. Yuri was right, you know? Yeah, facts, man. Lord willing, for real. Thank you. Let's see. Mark Ligon, Agorizer, Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Agorizer, Mr. DB, great to see you, buddy. I'm gonna go back to the left-handed salutes, man. Appreciate you. Safety Haba, great to see you. I was actually talking. Yeah, I was there. Yo, what is going on today? Am I having a stroke? I was actually wearing the stinparts.com shirt the other day, man. I really like that shirt, dude. It is like as thick as a baseball uniform. It's crazy. I'm like, how do you get shirts that thick? I don't know. Let me know where you get them, bro. I would love to get some of the DLD shirts like that. G23 Ski, Volk and Rumbulski. Great to see you. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that, man. I probably should have watched that the whole, Trump thing. I was wondering why it went from like 23 to 53 people like that. It's like, oh, that's probably what that was. FGM, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Immunity is a huge effing problem. DB, hey, DLD After Dark, you need to let us know which Viper you're looking at. Ayo, so we can get you in the Stiff Pew build wagon for your post 5K subs. That's what's up, man. I definitely will, dude. I appreciate you, man. Dude, Stifler Manufacturing, Marconi, Goonbeam, Gideon, like all you guys have just been so like kind and giving, and I don't deserve it. But for real, I really don't deserve it. Anyway, I kind of am Gabriel, brother. Great to see you, man. Great to see you. Ron Bayer, good to see you there, buddy. I tell you what. Let's see if I miss anybody else. My bad. Damien Christ, my guy. Great to see you. Anyone else that I missed, go ahead and fire off something in chat. I appreciate y'all so much, man. For real. Thank you. Oh, let's see. Is that is it? No. Trump's speech was like 5 minutes. Oh, maybe I should pull that joint up and watch it. Sport Brand Wait, FGMG23. Ron Bayer. Yeah, okay, so check this out. A couple things we're going to go over before we watch the video. So a lot of you out there probably are familiar with the Civivi knives, okay? And this is a Civivi incisor, which is kind of cool because it's like incision and scissor, sipping on some scissor. And it's cool because obviously it is a flipper, right? But it also has the wave feature, which I guess technically the wave feature is, like it belongs to another company. We'll say that. But when you look at this thing, man, for what it is a super, super affordable. It's funny, like DLD, don't you have a knife company? Why are you showing off and advertising another company's knife? You want the truth? Honestly, because it's great and it's affordable. So there you go. Usually I don't carry karambits. It's usually not my thing. Yo, this thing is so crazy light. I mean, it is just crazy, crazy light. It's super solid. It's 3 layers of aluminum. I literally, when I first held it, I was like, bro, is this titanium? Because it just feels like it's just nothing. But it's like stupid, just great quality. And yeah, it's a knife that is probably only going to be used for one thing. Of course, I prefer that I never have to use it for anything like that. But it's cool because if it's in the pocket, let me make sure I don't slice my mic wire open. Comes out, it deploys on its way out, right? And the curve of that thing, ooh, hoo, hoo. Boy, that thing, really, AI, that thing is nasty. You can really, really get it in there and just, bro, you could do some work with that. Also, if you wanted to remove it and not deploy it with the wave, it is a flipper, and that's actually kind of cool. They even skeletonized the flipper, and you don't need to like flick it open. I mean, this thing literally just pops right out of there, which means they put a lot of time and precision machining into the detents, into everything like this. This is crazy quality. Now, a lot of times when you look at knives like this, usually they're a couple $100, like some of the Foxes that are was it Fox? Yeah, Fox karambits. Some of the Foxes, I mean, you can get, I've seen some of them that are like 12 to $1,500 for like the crazy Gucci custom ones. But this one was $129, and I had a little credit with the one of the local gun shops, so I was able to pick this up. I mean, still, I guess essentially I paid for it, right? But this is the Civivi Incisor 2 in gray or titanium gray, and the blade, it says, where did I? Oh, it fell. Of course, it fell like everything else on my desk. So it says it is, where is it? Nitro V blade. So some kind of V, like S35V, S35VN, something like that. But let's actually see what kind of steel it is, because I'm actually curious. I mean, at that point, I didn't really care. So Civivi Nitro V. Oh, so that's like a D2. Oh. What is Civivi Nitro V steel? Nitro V is a type of stainless steel that is designed specifically for use in the manufacturing of high quality knives. Really? That's it? It is a relatively new steel, first introduced in 2017, and is rapidly gaining popularity among knife makers and enthusiasts. So that literally tells me nothing. So let's go to Nitro V. Nitro V is a type of steel. Really? That's okay. So basically, it's 440C gas station steel. Is that what you're saying? Oh wow. Okay. So S35VN is strictly better than 154CM. Both are great blade steels, in my opinion, depending on the application of the knife, like what you're using it for. Nitro V is tougher than both, but it isn't as good at holding an edge. Okay. So that's a good compromise. So if you really hate sharpening and plan to cut lots of cardboard, there's maybe an argument for something like 154CM or S35VN. Between 154CM and S35VN, S35VN is appreciably tougher. So, okay, so this is important because going back to the purpose, like what I got this knife for, there's a couple things. A, um, carry one knife on you for tasks like a utilitarian type of knife. So this will be the one that's cutting cardboard boxes, through cutting through tape, cutting all that stuff, right? So this is the definition knives DK1. And for something like this, I'm probably going to use it to cut up Amazon boxes and junk like that, cut through cardboard tape and all that. Or the definition knives journalist, something like this, or the definition knives birdshot as well. So using something like this for utilitarian work, that kind of stuff, right? But something like this would live in your pocket or on your belt or wherever you choose to stash it for those types of moments when you need to cut meat, because that way you're not, dulling out the blade there on, your everyday projects like cutting through cardboard, tape, all the junk that you usually cut through, all the paper I cut through, shipping labels and all that every single day. So you don't dull the blade down and you keep it nice and super sharp if you ever need to cut meat, that's all. This is a super badass knife. I'm sorry, excuse the language, but this is a really, really, really badass knife. Yeah, so shout out to Civivi, man. They really did a good job on this one. Civivi has no idea who I am. They will likely never know who I am. And I'll still, dude, regardless of a benefit for me or not, I'll still let you guys know when equipment is good or not. So I threw this in there to carry it. Usually I don't rock a karambit, but man, this one was just kind of calling my name. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see. Traveler, good to see you, man. G23 says I carry a karambit. So we are actually work DLD QVC early tonight. We are considering a karambit for definition knives. But man, we're literally, we got a lot going on with definition knives. We have the packaging, I can actually show you guys here. As long as y'all promise not to say anything. No, I'm kidding. Hang on. So we have, let's see. Where did it go? I got a picture of the actual box of boxes. Yeah, so this is a picture of the box of boxes that are getting shipped to us right now. We have the first 200 coming, and then we have the other 800 of them coming a little later. So we're getting 1,000 units of those shipped to us. And then we have the beginning of launch 2 started right there. And that's not how it's going to end. There are going to be some changes to it and some things that we're going to do differently. So that way, not all the stuff, like we're not giving away all the secrets. Okay. But box picks, there you go. But yes, definition knives is working on launch 2. Not only are we resupplying for launch 1, which is, I'll be honest, a huge cost. We're ordering the 1,000. We already paid and ordered, paid for and ordered the 1,000 units of boxes, which has all the boxes, foam, the magnet closure, all that stuff. It's actually really, really good quality. Such good quality, actually, that they had to literally import the cardboard from Taiwan, which is, I don't know why. For some reason, that's hilarious to me. DB Cooper, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Yes, your mom's box indeed. And I can't wait because, dude, at Goals, we're literally going to be able to have all these boxes out, all the knives from launch 1, all the knives from launch 2. Dude, I'm pumped. Lightning McQueen, brother, great to see you, man. Clint Eastwood, what's up, brother? Dark, how much do you pay for your transfer fees? So I usually would pay, like at one local shop, it's like $60, and if you're a member, then you only pay 30. Or no, it's 50, but if you're a member, you pay 25. But after the $2 background check and all that, it's basically almost 30. Bro, XCal, and I know you guys have seen this. I'm not, super far from XCal. I do a lot of events there and stuff. They only charge $15 for transfers and the $2 background. So it's $17 for a transfer. I was like, bro, I'm never going anywhere else again, ever, period. Because there's no reason. Like I just got that Glock frame sent in, and Gen 5 complete Glock frame. Yeah, I paid $17. I was like, dude, this is an excellent deal. $30 for me. The 7th is free. What? They give you free ones in interims, or in intervals of 7. That's actually kind of cool. I certainly wouldn't scoff at that. I may even give that idea to my FFL as as something to keep in mind. Like, yo, some FFLs are giving like your 5th, 7th, or 10th one free or something like that. So I appreciate that. But I do, dude. Honestly, a lot. That's how the guys at XCal found out about me being a content creator. They're like, "Yo, how are you getting all this stuff?" I was like, "Bro, I most of this is like sent from other companies." Within 1 month, I was there with. I had the Anderson Frontline, bro. Which, by the way, the Anderson Frontline is just cranking. Like, not one failure, not one issue. The Anderson Frontline is straight up proven itself as a duty rifle for a very, very, very affordable rate. Because I guess I can't say rates and stuff. I don't know. No background check though. Oh, their background check though. Oh yeah, NFA transfer fee. Yeah, that's different. 25 ain't bad. 25 ain't bad at all. Out here, it's stupid expensive though. That's a good deal. Sometimes free, sometimes $15. I'll pay the $15 all day. I'd be like, you know what? This month, charge me 45 and give me the next 2 or 3 free, because look, they're businesses too. We're utilizing their brick and mortar, their system, their employees. They're due fees for that. Does your box still have a D and balls in it, or was it fixed? M. Gabriel, what do you think? Do you think we left the Cocker Spaniel in it, or do you think we had them remove it? Because me and Rich, when we get together, we get some pretty terrible ideas. So, I thought that said, "I miss you, honey." I was like, what? Techno Man, brother, great to see you. Tex Bollington, brother, great to see you. $25 at the Ghetto Pawn Shop in my town. I would go to the Ghetto all day for $25. I was just blown away when they were like, "Yeah, if you're a member here, it's only $15 plus 2 for the background check." It's like, which I think $2 for the background check is a Virginia thing, but it does say Virginia State Police. I don't know if y'all out there in different states have to pay $2 for the background check too. I don't know. What? $25 plus $50 for 2 weeks of storage? Yo, so XCal literally sends you an automated text message when your gun comes in. And usually it's within a day or two of its arrival. The last 2 or 3 times, it was within like 2 to 3 hours of the tracking saying boop delivered. And they get like pallets of stuff delivered. So these dudes they're on point. They're on point. There is always money involved. There's never not money involved. Money makes the evil go round. World go round. But 1 John 5:19 would say the evil one runs the entire world, right? Rip Curl, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. I bet I missed a couple things. What? Dang, Tim Hoppa, his FFL is 10 doll hairs. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ronan, brother, great to see you as well, man. All right, we're gonna get into this in just a sec. Let's see, Tex Bullington, Chenamemba, Ronan Prepa, M. Gabriel. Oh, I did tell you I would do that. Okay. I paid $15. Dude, it's a good deal. Good deal. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you guys could actually see the operator Pepe, y'all would love, right? Like I'm saying, they need to get that fixed, man. We need to send enough emails to them so that they'll change it. I thought some of Trump's jabs at the Marxist side of the room were pretty good, especially when he called out Elizabeth Warren, aka Pocahontas. Dude, that is hilarious.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get me a beer.
A beer. That's ridiculous. All right, hang on. We're about to get into this. Whoop, whoop. See, when I don't have a guest, it's a little different. So I saw this actually on one of my boys' kit. He was running a Goon Beam assault light in this kit. And when I saw it on him, it looked much, much smaller and way more like fitting. Now that I have it in my hand, I'm like, I don't want to run this on my gun belt. Like, come on, dude, it's massive. But it is cool for anyone out there that's considering because look, when I throw my gun belt on, the stuff that's in my pockets, excuse me, for the most part, when I throw the gun belt on, especially on the right side, for the stuff that's in my pockets, that stuff is getting clamped down by the holster, by the bracket with the Safari Land rig on it, and anything that's in my pockets, to include a Goon Beam handheld, is kind of not very easily accessed. So when I saw him rocking his Goon Beam assault light, which by the way, the Goon Beam assault light is absolute insanity, bro. I was like, dude, that's dope. Where did you get this? He's like, literally $20 on Amazon. And I was actually really surprised by the quality. So basically it locks it in. You hit this lever and it releases the spring, and then you can just take it out like that, right? Now, the clip piece, which usually goes in your pocket, you do have to chop that bad boy off. So I did so, and you put it in here, lock it back, and then pull that lever, and that thing is in there, right? But the cool thing is you can basically pull this, and you can actually rotate it and then turn the light on. So it can be on your belt on and be like moving with you if you also had like firearm with weapon mounted light. You should keep in mind though that that's also kind of like a shoot me, I'm right here tool as well, so keep that in mind. But basically it has a spring loaded tech lock style piece on the back, so you put it through your belt and then clamp it. The other cool thing is that because it's not like an actual tech lock, these will actually slide inside Molly and then clamp closed, and it's pretty solid. It's not, I mean, look, it's a $20 piece of equipment. It's cheap China, but I don't know, for $20, man, it seems pretty solid. I mean, he runs his pretty hard every single day. So what is that here? If you guys are interested in picking one up, that is the brand on it. I'm sure there's 100 different brands for these $20 pieces of equipment, but it's not terrible and it's not stupid. It's just, for me, for my application, my pistol belt is kind of like I want to run like minimalistic light, so I would rather literally get another HSGI pistol mag slot and then just shove a handheld in there, because then you could use the same HSGI slot for a subgun mag, a multi-tool, a flashlight, or anything, or another pistol mag. So it's just something that I considered. So I wanted to go over those things with you guys and kind of bring that up. Cheap China could get the job done. Don't bash on it if you can make it work, for sure. Yeah, no, like I said, it's I mean, there is no downside to this. First off, the light is incredible, right? So Goonbeam, the assault light, bro, Goonbeam, whatever you need to do, you need to make whatever you have inside the assault light, you need to put that in a rifle light. If you did that, the entire game would be at your feet. You would change the light game forever. If you had a rifle light that was like that, this would totally deuce on Cloud, Mod Light, but all the other, like Streamlight, Surefire, every other company would be like, what do we do? This weirdo in Florida just totally changed everything. He may secretly already be working on that, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. And yeah, Clint Eastwood, 100%. I have a lot of gear that's cheap China gear that totally works, and I run it, just fine. And don't forget that you guys are talking to one of the owners of Definition Knives, which people could say that this is cheap China gear. It just so happens that the other companies that get their knives made in the same plant or manufacturing location that ours are done happen to be some of the most popular knives in the United States. So yeah, so it's totally not junk. And bro, I'll run Chinese stuff just to see if it works. Why not? And then if you break it, you break it. But yeah, Red Dawn, I don't know if you saw it, but I did say you were right about the whole 17 and 19 with the whatever it's called, Radiant Ramjet. Red Dawn was right. I was wrong. I do have an idea about how to get it to work, but I don't feel comfortable doing it, and I believe it would compromise the structural integrity of the firearm. Also, talked about the $20 cheap China flashlight thing, and yeah, it's massive. It's way too big to run on the gun belt. So just my 10 cents. Goon Beam, yes. Goon harder. Jason Shell, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Keith, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. TMC, brother, great to see you, man. But I'd like a look in the dark. Yeah, dude, it's this is a good for what it is. So it's looking at the beam, I'm guessing 650 lumens, 65,000-ish candela. I think it's like 1,000 lumens and 110,000 candela. It is Goonbeam's answer to the 100,000 candela junk that other companies were putting out. And he was just like, okay, well, then I'll put out 110,000 candela. Because the other thing is that it was partially blocked by the equipment here. So this is the, what, 2200? What is this crazy thing meter at, Red Dawn? And this is the, look at that hotspot, bro. That is insane. I've literally gone outside and like I can't get to a point where I can see far enough to where it like stops. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's crazy. Check out Goonbeam's website, and actually, if you use code DARK, you save money. I think you save 10%, and also, I do get a benefit from Goonbeam. I do get a benefit from Gideon Optics. So there are some cases where it's like affiliate marketing or whatever, but obviously that's not why I do this. So. Let's see. Next Tech V51 holder is the model. Nice, man. Thank you. Appreciate you looking that up. Dang, 1,800 lumens, 110,000 candela. Woo! Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I all I know is that I go outside and it's bright. All right, let's go ahead and look into this little situation. Oh, and you know what? For a little timestamp, you know what we can do for those people that are like, if you guys are curious, the actual content starts at 59 minutes and 43 seconds. Here you go. Ready? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy DLD. Sorry. Okay, my bad. I need to chill. All right, so let's go ahead and run this real quick. Now, this is an interesting thing. I'm just going to go ahead and run it directly from ASP. I know some people are like, but active self-protection is weird, and I don't like it, and I don't like John Correa, and John Correa is whatever. Okay, that we're looking at information. Okay, if you guys don't have a filter to see through things that you don't like to garner benefits from these videos, like your skills, tactical abilities, and the likelihood of survival uh could increase by reviewing these types of things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's good. So if you don't like that he is a shill for Palmosi, I love Palmosi. I think it's great. Um, if you don't like that he whatever, I don't care. Let's look at the value of the whatchamacallit. So I am gonna have to mute while we do it, but we're gonna be stopping and like reviewing it. I just want to say that this is 100% fair use. I am able to pull this up, to grab it, stop it, play it, stop it, play it, stop it, and have conversations with you guys around this. Anthony Smith, brother, great to see you. John is a badass. Anyone else can kick rocks. There you go. So Anthony said it here first. Yeah, and look, John is also, in my opinion, a super based Christian conservative dude, and I'm down with that. Let's see. Glad I coughed up there, DLD. Devil in a red dress. Hey, you know what? I probably should. 10 p.m. sharp. Yeah, good luck with that. This YouTube live stream may contain copyright material in accordance with the fair use doctrine under U.S. copyright law. The content is intended for educational, commentary, and criticism. Yo, Kurt, thank you, my brother. You are the man. Let me just say this again. Thank you, Kurt24. This YouTube live stream may contain copyright material in accordance with the, I believe it's federal fair use doctrine under U.S. copyright law. The content is intended for educational, commentary, and criticism. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, so I'm going to have to mute while we play it, but there's some good lessons in here, as John Correa would say. So let's get it in.
Today's video actually starts with some private citizen action as this dude shows up. These guys are just hanging out, and this is a camera, a car camera, like a Tesla or something. And now watch, dude points a rifle at them and decides he's going to mug these two guys.
All right, I'm going to start early, okay? So tell me this, all right? First off, if you and another dude are sitting there on the sidewalk, and honestly, it looks like a rather large sidewalk with a little security fence thing there with an area, like a driveway area for people to pull up. I mean, it's not like a super, tight area. And the dude, like, basically starts to walk around them, but I'd be looking at, and this may just be the way I am, okay? I may be crazy. My wife used to say that, like, when we were together, she would say I'm crazy and paranoid, and I look at everyone and their hands and their waistbands and their eyes and everything. And yeah, I do, because I don't enjoy putting my life in hands of other people. I see people all the time walking around just like head down, like looking at their phone, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, someone could literally run up and just punch you in the face and take everything that you got. Now, I mean, thank God you would live through something like that, but we just simply being alert and looking up and seeing that this guy has a GSG 22 AK under his jacket could potentially be helpful to you and your well-being. Anyway, moving along. I'll press play again. I'm just saying we have to keep an awareness. That's all I'm saying. And I'll actually bring it a little bit back here so you can see where this guy kind of comes from and how he walks up. and it's hard to say looking back at it, right? Like the Monday morning quarterback thing. Like, yeah, I may have not thought anything of it, or I may have bladed my body and put my hand on my gun. And I don't know. I don't know what I would have done, but I would have been more aware than these dudes. It did appear that these dudes were looking at him, but either way, let's let it roll.
Shows up. These guys are just hanging out, and this is a camera, a car camera, like a Tesla or something. And now watch, dude points a rifle at them and decides he's going to mug these two guys, and then they are going to kind of go back and forth with him. Watch our bad guy kind of look around a little bit, kind of cat on a hot tin roof. And then eventually when he looks back, one of our would-be victims decides, you know what? I am going to tackle this guy with his, it's like a 22 caliber AK pattern rifle, which is goofiness, with a detachable magazine. That's not legal to buy in the state of California. And yet he still had it as a prohibited possessor and a convicted felon. Weird. So now our guy is going to tackle him. And with his
so tell me this. How, I mean, guys, gun laws, right? How did this individual that was a felon, which personally I don't believe the felons shouldn't get their rights back when they're released, but anyway, how did this individual that was a felon get a firearm with a high capacity to their standard? In our vocabulary, we say standard capacity. How did they get a quote high capacity magazine, detachable magazine platform in the state of California when they're a felon? They can't get that. It's illegal. Of course not. The only people that actually usually pay attention to those laws are law-abiding citizens. Bad guys do bad guy stuff. So there you go. We'll run it back here a little bit. Let's see. So the first dude ends up Elmer fudding the muzzle out of the way and then tackling him.
It's like a 22 caliber AK pattern rifle, which is goofiness, with a detachable magazine. That's not legal to buy in the state of California.
Ballsy.
And yet he still had it as a prohibited possessor and a convicted felon. Weird. So now our guy is going to tackle him. And with his buddy now, they are going to go whack-a-mole on this guy and start tuning him up.
That's okay. That's crazy though. Because like if you look at it in this moment right here, like to be able to disarm somebody with a long gun, you don't want more than a step or two max to be able to, because you want to close the distance so you can point the muzzle away from you. Obviously handguns much more difficult because they're much shorter. They could do a whole 360 in someone's hand and you could be half a step away. Something like this though, watch this. This dude is like 3 steps away. The bad guy keeps looking back and looking back. He
decides, you know what?
In the area. Watch how many steps he has to take. I have it zoomed up big on my screen right here.
With
so he takes another step back. Or he stepped to the side.
Pattern rifle, which is
then he
goofiness,
takes 2
with
steps
a detachable magazine. That's not legal to buy in the state of California. And yet he still had it as a prohibited possessor.
Okay, another step back. He saw him. Okay, if you saw him take a step back like that, right? He saw him like tensing up, like building up the courage to do it, right? And there was a couple times where the guy did muzzle himself with this.
And a convicted felon.
So pushes it up.
So now our guy is going to tackle him.
He muzzled him right there.
Now, they are going to go whack-a-mole on this guy and start.
I know it's echoing while my mic is on.
Our guy got a knife out and did slash at them, and at least got one of them.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Like, okay, even if the gun is out of play, you never know what other things they have on them. He could literally have a handgun in his waistband too, right? You never know if they have another firearm, if they have a handgun, or if they have anything else, whatever else. If the gun is out of play, you need to go to the hands immediately, or obviously I would say completely incapacitate the bad guy right away. But like most people, as I watch like videos like this and badge cams like this, it's almost like people just don't know how to knock somebody out. Like, have you never made someone go night-night? Like, the way that you make them go night-night isn't by open palm smacking them in the face. You can absolutely knock somebody out by slapping them. I'm just saying, like, I just don't. It's like people don't have the power, or maybe they're just crippled by the adrenaline, or haven't had to like be in that kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Cali problems, for real, for real. All right, let me pull it back here. Sorry. This is honestly, look, I know I'm kind of picking this apart now, because genuinely, I think the most important message to get out to you guys is this. Your awareness is one of the most important things. I know most of us in the states where we can carry a gun. And if you could have seen while this guy was, let's go back here. While this guy was this far away, if you're the second guy, right, you could absolutely very easily, if you see this dude carrying, look at the left side of his jacket right there, that's where he pulls the AK out of. If you see this dude is hiding what looks like a micro broomstick up his jacket, you may think, and he's looking at you, he's not just minding his own business about to walk around you. You better keep your eye on this guy, and you better bleed your body and at least be prepared to draw, or be prepared to rush him, take that gun from him, and beat the ever loving dog snot out of. I'm just saying. But the fact that he did, because they didn't have control of his hands and all that, he did end up getting a knife
So
out.
now our guy is going to tackle him, and
cutting
with
up
his
another
buddy
guy,
now,
but
they are
the real
going to
party
go
starts
whack-a-mole
when the
on
cops
this
get
guy
there.
and
Just
start tuning him
watch.
up. Now, our guy got a knife out and did slash at them, and at least got one of them with a reasonably decent cut during that. But you're going to see them tuning him
Here we go.
up, and they do. Now, a couple of cops are going to show up and actually see what's happening here and start screaming and hollering.
See,
at him.
watch
The
his
one
hand,
guy
bro.
in the
You didn't see
Freeman
his
jersey
hand?
there is like,
Oof.
hey, officer, come and help me, pretty please, while we're beating on
Tell
this guy,
me
'cause he has
y'all
a
saw
gun,
that.
and the
Tell me y'all
officers
saw
are
that.
going
Hold
to
on, let me
show
run it back
up.
here. The
And they are
dude
not-
very, very easily, without
cops are
any
gonna
interruption. So bad guy's on the ground. Watch bad guy's left hand and his jean pocket right there. Sorry, let me mute so you guys don't hear the echo. Sorry, here.
Show up and actually see what's happening here and start screaming and hollering at him. And the one guy in the Freddie Freeman jersey there is like, hey, officer, come and help me, pretty please, while we're beating on this guy, because he has a gun.
You better take
and
his knife and open up his throat, bro.
And they are not going to help in a significant way.
By the way, I don't like violence.
I think they hate the fact that he had his Freddie Freeman jersey on, because watch this guy. Apparently, they're Giants fans instead of Dodgers fans, because he points a gun at him with a Freeman jersey on.
Oh, look at that shuffle, baby.
Up, he shoots him in the arm. Yeah, that's great. That's not great, actually. We have badge cam audio from here. Let's listen.
Okay. All right. Let me pause real quick.
What's going on?
Okay. All right. So first off, there's some pretty foul language, and this is so for anyone, if you got kids out there, whatever, the cop like only knows 12 words, one of them being F word. So he there's a lot of language in here. There is a shooting that occurs, and you will see during this badge cam quite possibly the most foolish acts, completely totally untrained idiots that have never ever been in a situation with adrenaline, that don't know how to act. They shoot the wrong person. They put on a tourniquet like a shoestring. I mean, dude, this is quite possibly the worst police interaction I had seen since Uvalde. It is absolutely terrible. So now, obviously, Uvalde ended in a very different way. I mean, I'm going to shut up. Anyway, enjoy.
Hey, get off of me. Let me get it back. What you think going grabbing?
Now, also, I understand that two officers are rolling up on this situation. They know absolutely nothing about what is going on. They don't know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, which two are bad guys, which two are good guys, which one is. They have no idea, right? But I would assume that if two men are holding down one man and there is an AK style firearm on the ground near them, and the two guys that are on top are screaming, he has a gun. He has a gun. He has a gun. I would guess that it was probably the bad guy or the guy on the ground that was the bad guy. But again, I get it. So I'm not totally excusing what these tards are about to do. But at least, like, dude, if I were them, it would have been very easy to be like, hey, you get lethal cover. I'm going to holster up and go to work on what, you know what I mean? Like something, but they're both just dancing around with their guns like a bunch of idiots. It's terrible. Sorry, I'm giving too much away. Go ahead.
Hey, get off of him! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! He has a gun! Get off of him! He has AK! He has AK! Get off of him! Officer, need help! Officer, where's your rifle! Shot fired! Shot fired! Shot fired! Where's your with the rifle? What the? Hey, get down!
Dude, okay. The guy literally hit the bleed deep and said, rifle! Like, absolutely zero chill. Being calm is a superpower. I truly believe that is a thing. If you don't have the ability to keep calm, maybe a lot of people didn't grow up like a lot of like me and my friends did, where you had a lot of situations in your life where you've been in a lot of adrenaline pumping situations where if you don't remain calm, you die, right? Like maybe this was his first instance ever in his life that he had this amount of adrenaline running through him. But like the dude is so focused on the radio as if like even if they were around the corner, bro, even if they were literally 100 feet away, they are not going to get there in the amount of time that you need them to get there to save you. He's like, please, someone save me. Bro, what? You are equipped with the tools that you need to stop this situation. Like, come on, dude.
Get down! Be shot! Hey, be shot! Officer needs help. What's the needs help? What's the man with the rifle? Hey, shot! He has the rifle! Drop the rifle! Get over here!
Yeah. The answer to your problems. Oh, dude, this just drives me crazy. The answer to your problems is to walk further away and grab your radio and shoot one-handed. Like, bro, what? There is a moment where he does get like an actual shooting stance and two hands on the gun, but like this is just a complete and utter mess.
Drop the rifle! Drop the rifle! Officer needs help!
I don't even know if he had the rifle at that point.
Can we get on it? Hey, he has rifle! Drop the fucking rifle, motherfucker!
18 Roger on the RA. Science officer needs help with choosing grand officer needs help with 14th Grand shots fired.
Right there. Hey, let's watch him. Hey, let's watch him.
Let's watch him.
Hey, just spawn. Eastbound. Western Tinker Graham. Is it male?
Yo, what? What?
Hey, get over here.
What was that move? Did you see that move? Okay. Let me put myself in a blind spot where you think he still has a weapon, okay? And then I'm going to walk around a car, which is covering concealment, and then put my back to the bad guy who I think has a gun, and then get farther away with potential crossfire with my partner. And like, bro, what? What are you doing?
It's going to be Western Tinker Graham.
Shots fired.
Right there. Hey, let's watch him. Hey, let's watch him. Go ahead. Hey, just spawn. Eastbound. Western Tinker Graham. Is it male?
Units respond.
Hey, get over here.
Please help me.
Units respond eastbound 115th
Hey, hey, get away.
Honestly, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like Jack Black and Tropic Thunder, where I forgot what scene it is, but where he's like totally winded and like naked on the ground, and he's like, please help me. Can somebody else do? Can someone carry me? Like it's like that level of just like helplessness. Like, yo, you got an entire belt of tools, dog. Oh, man.
18 gram. It's going to be a...
Like, I'm surprised he didn't bend over and puke right now. Don't forget about Crossfire.
Second
Okay, I'm
officer's
just saying.
badge cam here. He never activated his badge cam, so we have it without audio. You're going to see him also do his best Cypress Hill impression and jump around.
Okay, John, I'm sorry, bro, but that was not Cypress Hill. That was House of Pain. I would be willing to bet that if we went to the comment section, it would probably be filled with hundreds of people saying, John, that was not Cypress Hill. That was House of Pain. But maybe also John was just thinking big brain, and he knew that it was House of Pain, and he knew that it would drive engagement if he said Cypress Hill. Maybe it was a big brain move.
Jump up and get down. He never gets in the fight. He never actually shoots at this guy at all. Now, once they got that guy into custody and they realized, hey, man, we actually shot this guy. And the guy, you heard him say to the officer,
you shot the good guy while the bad guy had the knife.
So now, if you go watch the original, they do have audio on this one, but I'm going to talk over it a little bit on you because this might be one of the most egregiously stupid tourniquet applications I've ever seen.
All right. I need you guys to please take a moment and focus on what treachery is about to happen. And we do have arteries in our arms. I know you guys know that. Okay, clearly this officer doesn't. This is probably the worst. This is actually worse than when we saw that video of the rioting leftist extremists put the tourniquet on the slight cut on the guy's thigh, and they were literally like applying it to the wound. At least they applied it correctly. Check this out.
On this one, but I'm going to talk over it a little bit on you because this might be one of the most egregiously stupid tourniquet applications I've ever seen. So they first of all take the tourniquet all the way apart, not really needed on an arm, and then they are going to pull it kind of around his arm a little bit, and then they're going to tie it up in a bow and wrap it. Now you can see, well, hey, look, our windlass is all nice and loose, but we're going to tie it up a little bit, and then we're going to twist the windlass a little bit, and we're going to play some games and do some Pokemon or something. It's literally the most egregiously stupid tourniquet application I've ever seen. We absolutely will talk about it in the comments. Thankfully, this guy didn't really need a tourniquet, and so it didn't kill him to do this stupidity. The other guy lived too. They did take him into custody.
Dude, okay, look at that tourniquet right there. Okay.
I want to buy your house.
Oh,
I can
come
pay you
on,
cash
dude.
for your
Really?
house, no matter what
Shut up.
condition it's in.
Okay, let me go back here. Oh, come on. I had the perfect
tourniquet application I've ever
this is
seen.
bad.
We absolutely
Okay,
will talk about it in the comments. Thankfully, this guy didn't really need a tourniquet, and so it didn't kill him.
Okay, hang on.
The other
Let's
guy
get right
lived
on
too.
it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I know this is like preaching to the choir. I know I don't have to tell you guys, okay? Stage your tourniquets. And I'm not going to tell you, like, stage them in this way, okay? Stage your tourniquets in the way that works best for you so that you can use them, so that you can remember exactly what you do. Hand in, and then whatever, right? Just whatever way works for you. Yes, there's a bunch of different ways to stage them, and I stage mine probably differently than you guys stage yours, and that's cool. But do it whatever way that you're going to know how to do it every single time that a tourniquet comes out, because in some situations you could be talking like literal seconds that someone has. If they've already been bleeding for 15 seconds, like that may be the most important 10 to 15 seconds of their life. Literally. Okay. So staging your tourniquets is extremely important. I'm not a medic. I'm not an EMT. I'm not a doctor. I don't provide any medical advice. If you take advice from me, you're stealing. I'm just saying this was quite possibly the worst application of a tourniquet I have ever seen in my life. This dude pulled it barely tight at all. Like, I bet homeboy with the jersey's belt is tighter than that tourniquet was. And then he like slid it through. He may have even slid it underneath, which if you can slide something underneath the tourniquet, you didn't pull it tight enough. Okay. And then he like goes around and ties it around and then does like a bow. And the windlass, I don't even know how the windlass was stretched out that far. I've never seen a windlass stretch that far, bro. Like ever. Like, I don't know what this is. If this is a Timu tourney or what, but man, this was the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. This is terrible. Could you imagine like whatever like the manager version, the watch commander or the supervisor or the sergeant or whoever, could you imagine them watching the situation, having to go over a brief like post use of force like conversation or something, and then watching this? Like, if they both are not fired, I would be blown away, absolutely blown away.
They did take him into custody, and he's facing a plethora of charges. I have so much to say. I have so much to say.
Well, we'll listen to what they got to
They
say too.
thought that tourniquet was like a pretty bow. I don't know. LAPD, what is you doing? First on this one, Mike, I'm glad you're here for this one today. You're not often here when we do our private citizen encounters, but mad love to these guys for wailing a tune on this guy.
Absolutely. You know, look, if you're in this position, do we recommend that you try to, disarm somebody holding a rifle, that you try to do this? No. Generally speaking, no, we don't. We would probably recommend that you comply in the situation. But these guys were having
Corn plethora?
And I feel every bit of that emotion. No, we're not going to rob me today. I'm going to take your gun away, and I'm going to beat the ever-living crap out of it. I'm going to throw it
You know
over your
what?
head and
That's
everything
actually
else,
a great
and the
point.
police will show up.
Could this have been one of those just crappy tourniquets that NAR says that they pinky promise is definitely not made in China? I mean, yeah, it could be. But look, I am certain, literally certain, that I have tourniquets from let's just say NAR, that came from NAR, that definitely were not made in the US, and you can tell because they don't have the little patch with the writing on it. And I got them directly from NAR. So I do believe that the whole issue right now of NAR saying that they can produce X amount of tourniquets per day, and then them trying to be super cool and posting stuff on social media, but then really all they did was just showcase what kind of machines they had, and people were like, yo, those machines could not possibly produce that amount of tourniquets each day. Actually, they could only produce like a tenth of what you're saying. And then they found out that they got all these shipments in from China and all that. And it wouldn't be an issue if you just say that your stuff is made in China. But when you get stuff made in China and then you say that it's not made in China, that's an issue. But is that the only issue? No, because what's the other issue? The other issue is that they have massive government contracts. Well, hold on. If they're fulfilling massive government contracts with Chinese products, isn't that illegal? Yes, that is literally illegal. I forgot what it's called. It's called like the Brady something. It's a man. I somebody help me with it. What it's called when you're not allowed to fulfill government contracts with a foreign nation's products. Let me know. Put it on backwards. He did take it apart. Dude went home like, caught the bad guy, saved the innocent guy, baby. It was a rough day. Yo, he did too. This fool literally was like, you think the tourniquet's backwards? You know what? In a minute, I'll grab one and rethreaded it wrong. You know what? I'm gonna grab one and I'm gonna see if we can duplicate the terrible results that he created. Yeah, that dude went home and he was like, man, it was a tough day. I had to draw my gun. I had to shoot this. I don't even know. I think the other guy was hit, but like, bro, if in the end you only shot one of the good guys and you dumped 2/3 of a magazine into just somewhere all over South LA. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Your accuracy, your pinpoint accuracy. If God forbid you ever have to draw your firearm, and this isn't just for law enforcement officers. This is for all of us. Anyone who chooses to carry a gun and life-saving equipment like medical and tourniquets, it's your responsibility, man, to obviously for every single round and where they travel and what they go through and what they hit beyond that. Like that is absolutely all of our personal responsibility. And you have to be able to answer for that personally, morally, spiritually, whatever, right? Like I'm just saying. But yeah, dude totally thought like he was a superhero. He was like, man, I had to draw my gun, had to draw my gun. I had to, bust some rounds on this fool. But luckily I arrested an armed robber and you disarmed a civilian. You shot him in the arm. Anyway, moving along.
And I'm sure that when the police show up, they're going to make everything better than it was before they got here. Well, unfortunately, the police.
Yo, I'm sorry. Straight up, I didn't think of that like psychological aspect. It was like that cop was like, "Quick, someone call the police!" Oh, you're such a sorry man.
Actively make things worse than they were before they showed up. I think if give these guys a couple more minutes, they would have had this guy probably unconscious and all tied up in a ball. But fortunately or not for them, LAPD showed up at some point and did what they did.
I will notice here that our good guys waited for their counter ambush opportunity. You can see our perp here is turned away.
Yeah, I'm going to pull one out here in a minute.
Looked around, he's waiting to see, is anybody else around? Are they seeing him? Are they going to catch him? And so when he turns around and shows them the back of his head, that's when our good guys go for the disarm. And that was excellent tactics. Now, this is one of those private citizen things, Mike, that's different than cops, because somebody pulls a gun on a cop, they're going to start shooting immediately. You got to go to work even though you're...
Red Dawn says, this is why staying calm is key. Things can go wrong. Just take your time and get it right. So you are an idiot. Better to run out of time than make a killer error. Well, and, one thing that John says all the time is you can't, what is it? You can miss fast enough. You can't miss fast enough to lose a gunfight, but you can take long enough to hit that you can lose one, right? Like, so pulling out your gun, super Taron Butler fast speed and busting rounds off that don't actually hit your intended target isn't going to win a gunfight, right? Like the thing when people say like, well, what's more important, speed or accuracy? Well, the answer is yes, right? Like both are of the utmost importance. I think that people, and it may not just be like, idiot law enforcement officers like in this situation. I think a lot of times people, go to the range a little bit and they kind of feel that like, well, I have a gun, so I have this tool that will be able to stop any situation in every situation. But like, no, dude, first off, shot placement is 98% of getting into a gunfight, of where someone gets hit. Obviously the why thing, that's a personal a personal call of why you're going to shoot someone. Must you shoot somebody? That's we're past that. I'm saying in a gunfight, yes, speed is important, but not above accuracy, not above keeping your calm and keeping your cool, because you freaking out, basically screaming into the radio, dominating one of your hands that needs to be in the gunfight. Not even, the tourniquet was just the cherry on top to say, yes, this dude is a straight up tard. Like, there is no way that this guy can say that he is not totally tarded once you add in the tourniquet. If afterwards he came and just like beautifully executed a perfect tourniquet exactly where it needed to be, because first it looked like he was about to do it on the bend of the arm. I'm like, you idiot. And then it looks like the other cop said something like, bro, you need to move that up, and if he executed this just like perfect application of a tourniquet. And it wasn't, it'd be like, okay, maybe it wasn't a skill thing. Maybe it was just him totally freaking out, massive adrenaline dump. But no, it wasn't that. It was.
Oh, I get it. You're retarded.
So yeah, I think it was that.
Down. For the private citizen, though, you got to wait for your counter ambush opportunity.
Yeah, and again, I'm we're not necessarily recommending this, but these guys obviously felt like they had the ability and the wherewithal to handle this guy, so they took their opportunity, they took their shot, and as it turns out, they were correct. They were able to take care of this guy.
But always remember, they could have another weapon, firearm,
guy,
knife,
something
something
on drugs are pretty high, just based on his behavior. Probably methamphetamine, which makes him really unpredictable. But these guys just saw an opportunity. They're like, you know what? Screw this guy. It's almost like they talked about it in advance. You know what I mean? Almost looks as though they've had
Yo, hold up. Let me just say this, okay? Black folks don't do meth. Come on, bro. Anyway, this is something that, like, you should talk with your boys about. You should talk with, like, your friend, especially if it's friends that, like, you're, like, shooting with, you have a group with, or if you're building a group, or if you intend to build a group or something like that. Like, these are things that you need to go over with your boys, just in case that crazy, I mean, micro percentage of even something might possibly happen. If it does, you will be so grateful that y'all had that conversation together, or those conversations together. Dude, Red Dawn and I, Flying Rich and I, like John Crump and I, we always talk about crazy stuff like this. Like, yo, in this situation, like, what would you do? Because you know what? God forbid if we ever end up in that situation, I can just shoot Crump a look, or Rich a look, or Red Dawn, or Dust, or whoever, and we're like, yo, go time, right? Like, at the first opportunity, it is go time, I'm just saying, I doubt these dudes had this conversation. So what do you think we should do if a random hobo with an AK, plastic AK, rolls up on us and says, give me all your money? What would you do? Well, I'd probably, like, buck the muzzle out of the way. And honestly, I'm more proud of the just random civvies that jumped on this dude and started putting in work to try to save their own life, and still got cut up and got shot by the police. I just think, dude, if anyone deserves praise here, it's the civilians.
Before, what do we do if an absolute tweaker with a 22 caliber AK pattern rifle shows up and tries to rob us? We're going to do this. And that's what they did. And now here comes LAPD, and you would expect,
facts, too many choices.
At this
Facts.
point, well, the police are going to know what to do. They're going to come in here and handle their business. As I said earlier, they kind of just made things worse. We'll talk about it more here in a second, but sometimes guns out isn't the right answer, even when someone else has a gun out.
Yeah, and listen, if these two private citizens...
Yeah, there you go. Too many choices, nailed it. You can't miss fast enough to win. Very good point. And then, of course, hits matter. But the FIBSA is real. Fudge, I'm being shot at. Or the fibs, which is fudge, I've been shot. Like, that is absolutely, even using your gun, as he calls it, a loud noisemaker. Yeah, you're gonna get a reaction. It's like, oh snap, I'm being shot at, but yeah, so FIBSA stands for fudge, I'm being shot at. I'm probably super far back in chat, but fast is both speed and accuracy. It should be. Mark Tucka, great to see you. I'm quick drawing and running a bill drill. That's what I'm saying. When it's something that you've done 1,000 times, over the past year, dude, it's just another IPSC target. It's just another silhouette, right? It's something that you've done 1,000,000 times. And that's why a lot of the times, like when we train, I realize, like, you're not going to have a shot timer when stuff goes bad, right? There's not going to be a beep. So what we started saying was, when the timer went beep, we would say gun, right? Because in that moment, if you that, it may not be a gun, it could be a knife, it could be a baseball bat, it could be whatever, right? But in that moment, it's like something other than a beep to get you going. And it's like danger, right? Danger, Will Robinson. So we started saying, like, when the timer goes beep, we say gun, and then it's just go time, right? So just something to keep in mind. We're not going to have a timer when that day comes, if that day comes. Yes, and 0 points for misses, 100%. Fudge, I've been shot is fibs. Fudge, I'm being shot at is fibsa. Deductions for misses, actually. Yes, all gunfights are a competition, 100%. Holding shirt with left hand, then look, there's Stacy Dash. Bing bop boom bop bing bop bam. Yeah, man, I would turn my head for Stacy Dash. Yeah, she was a baddie. Yeah, fibs plus the A means you missed. Yeah, fibs, I'm being shot at. Yo, and if you've ever heard those zing zing, you know that's not a good feeling. Just another silhouette. That's racist. I guess the silhouettes I actually shoot are white. Well, I guess they're brown, but the white and brown. Both are white and brown. Do I shoot black silhouettes? I don't think. I guess yeah, white, black, and brown. So I hold nothing back, regardless. Another fact: cops out in Cali only required 8 hours of range time a year to qualify. They'll happily confiscate your weapons, but don't spend enough time learning how to use their own. Insert joke here. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's the flashbang in the hood. Stacy Dash in Clueless was my childhood. Bro, where's she at? Yeah, my bad. Get back to it.
Ground skills. Maybe this guy would have been unconscious already.
I just kind of want to go back what they're saying.
Objectively worse. Officer, what are you doing? I mean, seriously, you're just going to stand around and point a gun
I'm
at
sorry.
the behind of
What
the
are you
victim?
doing?
In this case, now,
that was great.
Worse. Officer, what are you doing? I mean, seriously, you're just going to stand around and point a gun at the behind of the victim in this case. Now, I get it. They don't necessarily know, but the ones that are calling, hey, we need
I don't
help,
want
he has a
to.
gun,
I don't want to. I refuse to.
Are very highly likely to be your good guy. And you can probably pull an RKO out of nowhere here if you want. You can be Jimmy Superfly Snuka and come down from the top rope if you get that WWE reference, by the way. Schedule your colonoscopy soon. But pointing a gun at his butthole instead is bad.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka is, in fact, an older reference. I get it, because I'm even older than John. Listen, like I said earlier, this is not
okay, straight up. I'm just going to say, I don't know if they try to say the word butthole on every episode, but they're getting up there now when they say, they would have butthole checked somebody or something like that. Like when someone's been down like that. I mean, sometimes, right? It's not where you shoot someone; it's just why you shoot someone. So, I mean, that's also something they say. Yeah, I mean, dude, good points. Butthole check him. I mean, not that guy because that's a civilian that he did end up shooting, by the way. But when you got one hand on your stupid radio, please help me. Somebody call the police.
Time to have your guns out. I know they said he's got a gun. I know these cops are still trying to process what's going on here. But when you have two people on one person,
facts,
and
too
you
many
see
choices.
there's a gun on the ground, odds are they are telling the truth. They're the ones being robbed or being assaulted.
Watching this made me want to drink. Yeah.
So you might ask, well, how do you know what you would have done? Well, I know what I would have done because I've been in situations not dissimilar to this. And this is a point to holster up and go put a foot on top of that rifle or put a foot on the guy's head or wherever you.
Dude, straight up. I'll come back to it. Go ahead.
Need to put a foot because now you're in a deadly force situation. And do what you have to pin that guy, to pin the gun down, pin the guy down, and get these two private citizens out of there so you can handle business.
We shoot them. We shoot the citizens.
But it's what you got to do. You got to move in, get this guy disabled. Excuse me, can't talk today. As disabled as you possibly can. And
neither can I, Mike.
Citizens out of the way. They've done more than enough at this point.
No,
they have done
shoot
more than
him.
enough, and instead, our officer is going
look at that freeze
shoot.
frame, bro.
This is the round right here that went through the
look at that freeze
of the guy in the
frame.
Freeman jersey. Now,
okay, that is just like, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean. Maybe that's what happens when you have one hand on the radio saying, someone please come help me. And then you're just one-handed firing at a tree behind a chain link fence. I don't know. None of this makes sense. But I will say this. I could randomly pick at random any two of my viewers, and I could almost guarantee that the situation, the outcome, and the medical treatment would have been much, 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 much better. Please go get some training or a new job, or go work at Starbucks, since clearly you're a soy drinking mofo.
It wouldn't surprise me if this was a negligent discharge. If you look, the gun is well below the officer's line of sight. He's not using his sights at all. There's really nothing. It's not aimed towards our bad guy at all.
That's a good point.
I think this was very likely a negligent discharge into the arm of a victim, Mike.
Yeah, it looks to me also like he's on his radio already. We're going to talk about that.
Please help me.
Right? Now, I can't tell in this shot if he's picked up his whole radio off his belt to talk into, or if he got.
I'll tell you what, brother.
It doesn't matter. Now is not the time for you to be talking on the radio to anyone. You have all the firepower and all the assistance you need here and now. And by the way, they continue to get on the radio ad nauseum for no apparent reason. This is not the time to be on the radio calling for help. There is, like I've said 1,000 times, if there is a SWAT team and a Bearcat a half a block away, the chances are this is going to be over before they can get there and have any effect on the outcome. This guy in the arm,
facts.
This is what I'm talking about.
Facts. Literally, if we went back and timed it exactly how long this whole situation took to go down, excluding his like weird dance around the vehicle, turning his back on someone who he believes has a gun, and leaving his partner there on the other side, and then getting into a beautiful, beautiful crossfire arrangement. I don't know why he was doing the tango around the car, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he's got it in for his partner. I'm not sure.
This is why I say no. It's time to holster up and get in there and put hands on this guy, pin the gun to the ground, do whatever else you got to do. But this sort of being afraid to get in there and get in the fray ended up with this happening. Not to mention the fact that he's on the radio, not to mention the fact that this is probably a negligent discharge and it's one-handed. It's just an absolute mess. And there really is no excuse for this. I understand if you're not in law enforcement, you might think, well, chaotic situation. Yeah, absolutely it is. But this is still not okay. This was entirely preventable.
And listen, here's a thought from me to you. If you feel like, hey, I'm on the radio because I'm worried that I need like more meat-eating crime fighter cops here because I'm not good at the gunfighting part, it's time for a new job. It's time for you to either
dang
or realize
y'all hear that?
If you feel like, hey, I'm on the radio because I'm worried that I need like more meat-eating crime fighter cops here because I'm not good at the gunfighting part, it's time for a new job.
Woo!
It's time for you to either rectify the problem or
he said, you don't eat meat, son. I told you he's a soy drinker.
Realize some people are made to be 911 and some people are made to call 911. And if that's you, just admit it and move out. Okay?
Yo.
Now, at this point, does this guy
he picked it up. He did pick it up.
Unequivocally. He not only should he be shot, he has picked the gun up in the presence of officers that he is using.
Why would you not riddle him with holes of the bullets immediately, right here in this moment? I don't get it. Like they at least had several seconds. Well, this dude they had to have just not known. They had to have just not known who was the good guy and who was the bad guy. Because again, in their defense, they deserve no defense. In their defense, they did just roll up on a crazy situation where three people are fighting. They have no idea who the good guy or bad guy is. Pause. Okay. One guy on the ground, two guys on top of him, two guys begging, please come help us. He has a gun. Okay. They should have known. But still, the dude got up and grabbed the AK. What? Like, blessings from the lead father. Like, I'm a lead farmer. Rain down on him with all of the bimetal jackets. Like, this is crazy to me.
Trying to rob people. Yes, this guy needs to be shot, but the officers have a heck of a hard time shooting him. because their skills are not up to
Because
it.
they
So
suck.
having the justification to do so, Mike, has to be met with the capability to do so.
Yeah, so that means
Facts.
capability of marksmanship,
Zeta.
confidence in your equipment.
Good to see you, bro.
confidence in your
Good to
gun
see you.
loaded,
And
which
yes,
is some, you know,
lack
unfortunately,
of
some officers
repetitious
and deputies
training.
out there with carrying with an empty chamber. Listen. At this point, they are. I don't know, John. What would you have?
Yo,
What's the distance
okay.
here?
That's true. Lead does cause cancer in California. Very good point, G23. Thank you.
7 yards tops. This is not a difficult shot to make. This guy should have absolutely been full of lead. He should be setting off metal detectors for the rest of his life. But for some reason, they just didn't get effective fire. Now,
dude, okay. So me and some of my boys, one of the last times I went shooting before I injured my arm, well, at least before I injured it so bad that I couldn't use it very much. We put a target out at 7 yards, an IPSC target, the Alpha Bravo Charlie target. That's the brown one, the IPSC, right? And we were like, hey, let's do a little competition. Bro, I wasn't even using my sights. I wasn't even using my dot. I was just point shooting, and I was just backplating that thing. It's 7 yards. That is cake, absolute cake. If you train with your equipment on a consistent basis. And yes, repetition. If you have not put, I don't know, at least 10,000 rounds through a Glock, like if that's his sidearm, right? And I would say the same thing if it was a Beretta or a Smith & Wesson MMP or whatever it was. If you've not put at least 10,000 rounds through, different variants of that platform, you're not there yet. And the problem is that a lot of these people, civilians alike, civilians, police, they think that their gun is like this super tool that will just immediately stop any bad situation with one press of the trigger. That is just not the case. Not the case at all. Why when you look at training, why are bill drills such a thing? Why are bill drills like one of the most, I'd say, popular training for speed and accuracy? Well, because you probably need to take out your gun as fast as you can and put 6 rounds into the sternum of something at 7 yards. I don't know. How do we think that became a thing? Who was Bill? I would love to learn about Bill. Was Bill someone that is now setting off metal detectors for the rest of their lives? I don't know. But all I know is if you can't put 6 rounds into a target in under 2 seconds at 7 yards, you are going to be in trouble if you have to draw your firearm. And if you need to use your sights, if you need to use your red dot, if you need to use a laser, if you need to lose the photonic, if you need to use the photonic focus of the beam on your light, whatever you got to use, figure out how to do it and practice that and train that. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so good, I can do this. I'm saying I am the most average dude in the world. Average. That's why I was saying like, I'm going to change the name of my channel to The Average Gunfighter, because I don't want people to be, like think that I'm trying to say like, oh, I train all the time, I'm good, I train so much I hurt myself. I'm just saying that like if my remarkably average behind can do this stuff, then anyone can, and probably do it way better than me. The fact that you could not put 6 rounds or I don't know, 2 rounds into the sternum of a bad guy with what you believe to be an AK right in front of you, but you shot the good guy. I don't know. It's crazy. I'll shut up.
Could be that he's under the influence of narcotics and he's not feeling a lot of pain. That's a possibility. But getting shots on target at this distance should not be hard at all for any officer who's been on the job for more than 3 minutes.
Well, of course, it is very hard for them.
Dang, for more than 3 minutes.
One-handed, and we will talk about why that is in just a moment when we see it on camera. But recognize everybody's life's at risk here, and the higher your skill set.
I did not know that. Thank you.
Risk, and that's what your goal is. If you're going to use defensive firearms use, it's to end threats. I don't care about killing folks. That's not the intent. The intent is to end threats, and that's why you need to have a high level of competence. Our second guy here, I'm not even going to stop through this. He didn't even get in the fight. He, at least this guy has the temerity to
he also aimed his gun at everyone except the bad guy until now.
Trigger. Of course, why is he shooting this gun one-handed, Mike?
Because he's on the radio.
Because he's on the radio.
We've been over this a million times. Look, I understand the need to feel like, okay, someone knows I'm in trouble, right? To get help on the way. I promise you, LAPD has modern, new Motorola radios. Those Motorola radios absolutely have an emergency button on them. So all you need to do is hit that emergency button, and that will direct the dispatcher to start people your way, probably code 3, probably in a hurry. And this whole thing on the radio, 415 man with a rifle, disturbing the peace is the penal code for 415's penal code in California for disturbing the peace.
Corn Pop, brother. Good to see you, man. Yes.
Officer needs that. No, the officer needs to get the heck off the radio. I almost said a bad word.
Bro, Corn Pop, I hope you got to see how this cop put on a tourniquet. It was like he was tying shoelaces on his 5-year-old's feet. It was astounding. Absolutely terrible.
The officer needs to get the heck off the radio and get in this fight. Both hands on the gun. Get your head in the game here. No one's coming to save you. End this threat yourself. This second officer, I hate to be this hard on people, but this might not be the line of work for you, as John said. It might be time to go find something else to do. There's plenty of other honorable jobs where you can help people that don't involve, guns and ammunition and that sort of thing.
Target.
I mean, again.
Oh, Walmart greeter.
It's just egregious. Guys, I hope officers, you're watching this, and if you're watching this in roll call or in the academy somewhere, that you're watching this and going, I'm going to do a better job if ever I'm involved in this. I am not going to be this mess. Because what are they doing? Okay, we want to hold on this guy till we have more officers, but you can see the fact he doesn't have a gun on him. Cool. You don't have a gun. It's now time for the polyester pileup. It's now time to get on this dude, get that covered, because you have a bystander, you have a victim here who has been shot and has been shot by the LAPD. And instead, again, they do their best Cypress Hill impression and just like hop around and they're just acting for the sake of acting rather than thinking about that concept of win. What's important now? What is important?
LAPD, what is you doing?
I'm either securing the scene or I am getting medical aid to who needs to have medical aid. So that follow-up, right? Threat down, tap ifs. Is it threat down? Does he have any accomplices? Is my partner still in the fight? That's tap. Then ifs. Injuries, who is injured and needs help? Then firearm.
The victim is injured. You shot the good guy.
Follow up. What needs to be done right now? Then finally, seek help. Then get on the radio and call it in.
Please show it again. Please show it again.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this tourniquet for just a minute. This is a second generation soft tee. Okay,
please watch this.
Probably the most egregiously bad tourniquet application that I have.
And you know what? Let me say this. Okay, if you guys out there, because look, it took me years to get into medical. I mean, years to get into medical stuff because I didn't care. Same thing. Like I don't have carry insurance, right? I don't have like if I were to have to, God forbid, draw my firearm and use it to save my life, like I actually have before, then I didn't need to fire it, but I needed to draw it in that moment. I don't have carry insurance. It's just one of those things that I didn't do. Like a lot of you guys just won't get on Rumble and make an account and come over there and watch on the Green Place. And that's okay. There's just some things that you just don't want to do, put off, you procrastinate or whatever. It took me years and years and years of not only owning guns, but carrying guns to get into medical. And actually, I didn't get into medical until a viewer sent me medical stuff. And I was like, whoa, this is extremely important. And then there was another viewer that was at the McDonald's drive-thru when a woman dropped her credit card out the window when she was paying and she couldn't reach it. So naturally, she took off her seatbelt. She stuck her leg out, opened her car door, stuck her leg out, leaned over to get it, and her foot came off the brake. And the car, because the wheel had turned, ended up crashing into the side of the McDonald's building, and the vehicle door closed on her leg with the mass of the vehicle, and he had to apply a tourniquet to her to save her life. And I was like, yo, this is like not just about plugging holes from gunfights. This is anything. If anything happens where someone is hemorrhaging, you must have several different options of saving their life. Having some pieces of nylon and Velcro could literally be the difference of life and death. What's that worth? Well, The hollow points in my 2 magazines are worth more than the cost of a tourniquet and gauze, so I should probably have that on me too. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, watch this absolute terrible, terrible application of a tourniquet. And whoever else is out there watching that's maybe never applied a tourniquet on themselves or anyone else, please watch this and take this as a moment that we should seek training, that almost every single fire department, EMTs, that they offer free stop the bleed classes in your county almost, monthly. There's a bunch of different places online that offer training. There's places local to you that offer training that you pay for, but please seek out ways of training how to use medical equipment appropriately, not like this dirtbag.
On camera. And I get it, critical stress, you're frustrated, but clearly this guy's no idea how to put a tourniquet on. Okay. First of all, stage it correctly. Second of all, we take the strap and we pull that strap tight. I'm talking tight to where he's mad at me about it tight. Then it wraps towards, not back over the top of itself, but away from itself. And it should be tight enough at that point that it stays put and is mad. Then once you've got that and it's already super tight, then we tighten the windlass. Can't tell you enough, officers. If you have not practiced with your tourniquet in 6 months or more, you need to rectify that. Get out the training tourniquets today in roll call and give everybody a rep on it so that you do better than this. This is quite embarrassing to LAPD. I got to be honest with you. This should be an embarrassment. Everybody involved in this should be mortified that
this is going to be used as a training video in like all these other police agencies across the country. It's going to be like, don't be this tard.
Standards that they're keeping. Let's do better than this to help people cover their ass. Here we see another reminder that for office.
Man, that's just crazy, dude. When I saw that, I was like, man, this is bad. But then when it got to the tourniquet, because I was like, okay, maybe it's not their skills. So this isn't just that one officer that was jumping around in the horse stance like a cartoon character. Like this, maybe it wasn't his skills. Maybe it was the crazy chaos in the moment of him not knowing who was the good guy, who was the bad guy, because we got to see in advance, right? We were there for 30 seconds before the police arrived. When the police arrived, they only saw one guy on the ground, 2 guys on top of him, and everyone was screaming gun, right? But then I was like, it could be potentially the crazy adrenaline of that moment when, you see 2 guys holding one guy down on the ground and they're like, this guy's got a gun. I don't know. In my mind, I can't make up an excuse. But then I was like, it couldn't have been just the stress. I'm sure obviously that added to it, but the stress of the situation, the chaos, the adrenaline, anyone that's been in a really like crazy adrenaline dumping like situation, that like that feeling is crazy. You can't shake it, right? But then not having skills to appropriately discern like what is the most important, like what are the like highest priority things that I need to do right now. Well, one would be airing out the dude with the AK, right? Because after the 2 dudes got off of him, the other guy grabbed the AK and stood up. It's like, air that dude out. But then when I saw the tourniquet application, I was like, this is all skills. This is all or lack of skills, honestly. But yeah, this was just an absolute abomination. Terrible. That link I sent you, was that me? Did you send something to me? That link I sent you was a sheriff deputy who detained and took drugs off a guy, then proceeded. Was that me? I didn't see anything. Oh, you may have been talking to someone else because I don't see it. The link I sent you was a sheriff deputy who detained and took drugs off a guy, then proceeded to smoke said drug, fentanyl, in his own sheriff's office headquarters. Yikes. Woof. That's crazy. That video is wild. The Narcan saved his life. Lice. Saved his life. Let's see. Dude was a junkie officer for years, apparently. Smoked residue from a pipe and got hooked. Oh, bro, it only takes once, man. It only takes once. Mike McClune, closing up shop here at work and ready to head home for the night, brother. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you, my dog. Robert Ham, good to see you, Robert Ham. They should have just kept applying pressure on the wound until paramedics arrived instead of applying the damn tourniquet. Yeah, that was terrible. That was the worst application of a tourniquet I've ever seen in my life. Is 2A girl hot? Would you? I don't know who 2A girl is. I'm not hip. This might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in any situation is this tourniquet application. Bro, I know it was bad. This is actually pissing me off. I know. Where's Joe Morris? I know, right? Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, look, okay, so every cop is not like this cop, these cops, because the other dude didn't help at all. All right. The other dude was a scared little boy who did nothing, who didn't press his trigger one time. He had great angles with a cement backdrop. Like there was no reason to not fire on that dude unless I don't know, maybe they thought the dude on the ground was the good guy and the good guy finally picked up the gun. I don't care who it is. If any of the three guys pick up a gun with two cops in front of them that both have guns drawn, in what world does that person not get riddled with bullet holes? Dude, where I'm at, first off, the cops don't play where I'm at. They take training very seriously. I've seen them a lot of at a lot of the training classes and stuff that I do. A lot of them pay their own money. Dude, I don't care who you are. If there's three people wrestling on the ground and they don't even know what's going on, if after that little wrestling match of three people, even if there's one guy on the ground and two guys on top saying, help, help, he's got a gun, help, it would probably be easy to discern who is the bad guy in that situation. But even if you couldn't, whoever, when they all get up, whoever grabs the gun, they're getting smoked. Out here, he's donezo. I don't care. Like, how LA is operating like that is just beyond me. And then in LA, they're just releasing everybody. ROR'd, 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 released on their own recognizance, ROR'd all the time. I'm like, bro, you're just putting him right back on the streets. Now he's going to get another 22 AK, you know? Oh, these are trained officers. And to those people that say, I would only want police to have access to guns. They're trained. Yo, what? Do you also want police to be the only ones carrying medical too? Because if that dude was bleeding out from an arterial wound, he's gone right in front of them. This dude is gone. They may have bought him about 15 to 30 more seconds with that lightly tied. I don't even want to call it a tourniquet. It wasn't a tourniquet. It was a little bit of nylon and polymer. That was it. The Army has regular CLS classes to teach you how to use tourniquets and other basic life-saving medical care before Doc gets there, or before you've medevaced for follow-on emergency care. So all of this stuff, show yourself, Joe. Joe Morris, where are you at, my G? Is this just a lack of proper training? Probably. It's also like they may literally be idiots. Like I would say if we looked through their resumes of everything they've done since they were, teenagers and called all of their bosses, they'd be like, oh yeah, that guy was an idiot. Like he burned the French fries. He, like someone drowned at the pool he was a lifeguard at, that like they've been like the idiot their whole lives. There's no way, like, in what world do you draw your gun and dance around in a horse stance screaming? Dude literally hit the bleep on his radio and said, rifle. What? Is that an appropriate way to communicate something to your headquarters, sir? I'm just saying. That was crazy. That was the worst. Rip. Facts. Good to see you. Yeah. You stage tourniquets so they don't have to fully be open to use them. Standard tourniquets going to go over most adult legs without opening. Very good point. Stage them in the way that you feel is most appropriate to where you can literally pull it out, stick a hand in there, rip it open, and apply it over whatever you need to. But to where you can also just pull the red tab and remove it out if you need to, wrap it over. I'm gonna grab a tourniquet in a second, and we're gonna see if we can duplicate that absurd whatever that guy had going on. It could be lack of training or retraining, yeah, or it could be panic set in, which means they need to do more training. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, corn pop. I saw that. I may have missed something. It's like Karen. Is that Bass or Boss? Karen Boss was in charge of the LAPD, right? My question is, how did the second officer know to get Narcan? Did he tie a knot in the tourniquet? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The 2A girl is like 8. What? Okay, clearly I don't know what and who y'all are talking about. Okay, yeah, how are you going to set me up like that, Corn Pop? Corn Pop, the 2A girl is a toddler, dude. Okay, stop it. Why would I had no idea. I do not know who the 2A girl is, dude. Come on. Dang, that's grimy. Why would you have me read that out loud, man? I'm hopping to bed, fellas. Y'all have a wonderful night. Godspeed. Stay faithful. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Check out Red Dawn Readiness. He's got a great YouTube channel as well. I've grown tired of the gun bunnies on Twitter, unless you're like part of McCulloch fam or something. Yo, Lena could definitely get it. This guy seems like a tourniquet the neck type for real. Why in the hell do you guys think LA burned down a few weeks back? Well, because I think the government wants to rebuild it the way they see fit and give or get the land to someone else. I don't know. I'm just an idiot. I'm out for the night. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Fat Rooster. Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. And can't wait to see the Serico work on some of that stuff we talked about. Let's see. Oh, you guys are terrible. Ooh, the LAPD are all DEI hires. I mean, it just seemed like regular dudes. They just like, man, some people just should not be doing that job. Dude, honestly, I never heard John say this, but he was like, that's why some people should be 911 and some people should just call 911. And it seemed like that dude was picking up that radio like a scared civilian, like, police, help. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that was just bad. That was bad. Oh, that was a mix-up. 8 is a bit young for me. I'm not Muslim. Oof. Oof. Ooh. Look at the proposed map for the rail system in the future Olympic Village, bro. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Yeah, that's crazy. Look, I think it's important to kind of go over some of these things, man. So often, and I'll say it differently. Anytime there is a video where there is a use of force incident, a gunfight, whether it's a badge cam, civilian, whatever, I think it is massively valuable for us to review things like that, to see the things to do and not to do, right? And regardless of whatever anyone thinks about, like John Correa, I think John Correa is a base dude that has a lot of discipline, has lost a crap ton of weight over the last like year and a half, and he's a good man of God from what I can see. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but seems like a good dude. And some of the information, like the little tidbits that he gives, are actually really good things to live by. And like when we're talking like from a defensive standpoint. When there's any kind of encounter like that, it's important for us to review so we can learn things, to where if God forbid we ever ended up in a situation, those things that we take, the information that we take, if we go and we use that in our training, then we could potentially, improve the chances of us getting out of a situation like that alive. One of the things he does say is you can't count on luck, but luck does count. And this is so true. I actually saw one of his videos where a dude carried a gun every single day, right? Carried a gun every day. And there was like one day where he ended up downloading his gun, taking the round out of the chamber and the magazine out, putting it in a safe because like he was bringing over his daughter or someone else, something like that. And then the next morning, he went to go grab his gun. He grabbed his gun, grabbed the magazine, threw the magazine in, and put the gun in his pocket. It was like a pocket carry 380 or something like that. And the guy gets to his job. Some of you guys may have seen this video if you watch his channel. And the guy walks in like one of the big bay doors and walks back to the office and kind of loops back. And a guy came in there. I think it was like like an employee who had gotten fired or something like that. And the dude comes in with a gun. And I don't know if he wanted to like make a statement, say something first, or be like, I told you I'd be back or something like that. And the dude goes and he reaches in. This is why we don't tell people we carry guns. And, except all the people that I tell on YouTube every day. And then he reaches, he grabs his gun, he presses out, and he draws, and it's click. And the other dude has a gun on him. And he just heard a click when he was supposed to hear a bang. And you know what he did? He literally tap, rack, bang, and he shot the guy. Like, what are the chances that you draw from the drop and you get to squeeze a round off? Like, almost unheard of. So unlikely. That's crazy. But what's the point? Like, what is even like the likelihood that you get to draw from the drop and you press out and then you click? Sorry, my arm's still jacked up. I can't really like press out like that. Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. And you press out like that and then get a click in almost every situation. When you're drawn from the drop, you don't even get to press out, right? You're donezo. It takes less than 0.2 seconds for you to pull the trigger and takes more than, 1.0 second for most people to draw and, draw the first shot. If you're lucky enough to get an alpha, by the way. And he still had the chance to tap, rack, bang, and still won the gunfight. Like, what? So you cannot count on luck, but luck does count, right? So he just got lucky in that situation. So you never know what may happen in that moment. Anyway, we can move along. G11 looks like a Swiss timepiece inside. Yeah, that thing is crazy. Yeah, no, I totally agree. John does and has done amazing work for the 2A for sure. Yep. 1911 Syndicate is an awesome channel. I haven't watched them, but I have heard about them. Them. I've heard about the channel. I like John. He didn't much care for me calling him out a while ago. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when we get called out for stuff, it actually helps us, get better and improve. A lot of times viewers have called me out for stuff and being like, yo, DLD, like, you're overweight. You need to get it together. And I started getting it together, and I've been working on that. And actually taking it even more seriously with my arm injury, dude, diet, hydration, and the what's that stuff I told you guys about, the C word. not the C word you're thinking of. Collagen to repair the tendon, and all the micro tears in the tendon. And honestly, the thing that kills me is with DLD hardware, I have to literally make jigs. I'm manufacturing jigs on the 3D printer, and then I have to post process everything. And I'm literally drilling through them, cleaning them up, and packaging all of them. And then once I get all the packaging done, then I need to package all of it for shipment, and I need to lug around a bunch of heavy stuff. And it's hard to like not use my dominant arm. And then also with Definition Knives, I'm doing packages every day for both Definition Knives and for DLD hardware. So that's my main thing. Like I got like 34 packages sitting over there that I got to do that I'm not done with, that I have to go over there and do after the live show so I can get them out first thing in the morning. So anyway, I say all this to say it's hard for me to give my arm a break when I got all this stuff I got to get done no matter what. It doesn't matter. You think people are going to care if I tell them that my arm is injured? My tendons hurt. They don't care about that. Really what I want to do is I want to get my arm better so I can shoot again. You know, like right now, bro, I would be lucky if I could get my gun out and squeeze off a shot and, you know, get an alpha within 2 seconds. My draw is struggling right now, not because of a lack of training, because of how injured my arm is. So that's all I'm saying. Is it a gunfight when the other guy is an unarmed insurance company president? If you're fighting the slide 10 times during the encounter, it could be. Where's Luigi? I don't know. Luigi came in for a little bit. Oh, I got an email from him. I gotta get back to him. DLD After Dark, you're running a business, brother. I get what you're saying. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I can't stop, you know. Collagen, not the other C word. Yeah, not the see you next Tuesday. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, fellas. I appreciate all y'all coming in and hanging out. We do have a lot of really exciting things. Bro, I'm putting more money into Definition Knives than I've honestly ever put into anything, because purchasing the 1,000 boxes and then the resupply from the first launch, and we are ordering a buttload of co-pilots, because the co-pilots are definitely the most popular knife. We sold out of these way quicker than any of the other ones. The co-pilots are awesome. And then also the birdshot. The birdshot and the journalist are both HCR13 MOV. Yes, sir. Christ is King. And you know, I feel compelled to share with you guys recently. I was at church and I heard the 1 John 5:19, and it was it says something essentially like, "But you and I are of God. However, the rest of the world, the entire world, is ruled over by the evil one. The whole world is ruled by the evil one. You and I are of God, though. We're good. As long as you're saved and you believe that Jesus Christ died for your sins and all that, you and I are of God. But the entire world is run or ruled by the evil one. So remember, all this stuff that even as you know, good, faithful Christians that we, you know, object our minds to, or, you know, put our, you know what I'm saying, like entertainment and all the commercial BS and all that. Even it's funny, like as I'm sitting here, like you know, look at my knives, buy my knives, you know, all the worldly BS. Yeah, it's difficult. They don't want us to have faith in God. You know, they want us to have faith in the world. And eternity is a long time. So yeah, consider that. But I love y'all, and I appreciate all the support for everyone shopping at DLD Hardware, for everyone shopping at Definition Knives. So also, not only are we resupplying with the first launch, but we are doing the second launch. Now, the second launch may actually end up being like 9 knives. This is going to be crazy. So let's see. So the knives that I showed you guys, let me take a look here. So that would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, but if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woof. So it's going to be 9 knives, and we're doing the definition drop. And a lot of you guys asked for the flippers and liner locks. We're doing flippers, liner locks and frame locks. They're really, really dope. The frame locks are freaking solid. Like you could probably baton through a 2x4 with these little guys. Some of them are a couple of them are the 2.9 inch to kind of beat that like federal law about being able to bring them into schools and being able to bring them into other places where you couldn't usually carry knives. Like, you may not be able to carry one of these, right? Or one of these. Man, by the way, isn't that thing so gorgeous? And the fact that it's not like a gas station knife is really the only reason why I wanted to get it. But for real, I kind of also wanted to get it as inspiration for a karambit that we do with definition knives. How nasty would it be if it was like the perfect fighting karambit in like a 154 cm steel with that's a button lock, by the way. And I mean, that is super cool. I would want, I don't know, probably a little more of a durable lock. Button locks are okay for the type of work that you would need, that you would be using this for. I guess 154 cm steel would be good, but I don't know. Maybe do like a D2 steel. I would probably want a thicker blade and just kind of be able to do a little bit more work with it. But man, this thing is nasty. God, look at that thing. And for $129, and it's crazy light, dude. It's like it's not even in your hand. It's nuts. Yeah, I'm gonna mess around with it and I'm gonna carry it, but so far this thing gets an A+. And just look at like how it looks. I mean, that is a beauty. I mean, that thing is like aircraft grade looking, But for you guys out there, I just want to say this. When you look at certain things, you'll be able to see that some things are very similar. Like all of a sudden you start noticing the hardware. I don't have the knives here, but I literally picked up a knife from Civivi and I started looking at it, and I looked in the back in between the frame and I saw hardware exactly like ours. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, are these knives Chinese? And they're like, yeah, they're Chinese. And I was like, really? I was like, I wonder if these guys are making their knives in the same place there's only a few factories over there anyway. So it wouldn't be crazy to say like, yeah, they get their knives done in the same factory that we do, because 60% of Kershaw's, Columbia River Knife and Tools, Crickets, and Smith & Wesson's knives are done in the same factory that our knives are done in too. So and it's no big secret. We literally put China, like we laser engrave. We pay to laser engrave China in our blades, while other companies don't. They just put it on the box. But I just want to be honest, Plus, if we can put the great state of China, that's just hilarious. Joe Morris, bro, where you been at? We were asking for you earlier. It is pretty in gray. Thank you. She's going to use that to steal your vast deference. Yes. All knife laws are unconstitutional. Yes, sir. Damian Christ, brother, great to see you. Dark, close the dust cover on your Geisley 11.5. Dude, come on. What are you talking about? Yes, the Geisley 14.5 with the Geisley Super Precision mount, with the Geisley 1:6 LPVO, with the Acro mount on top, with the Gideon Optics mediator, with the 11.5 Geisley Super Dookie, with the Unity 2.26 riser, with the Primary Arms 1X Cyclops, with the Drewski, help me out, with the SMS laser. Totally not full power IR laser. Totally not full power though. Totally not full power laser. IR laser, and also the IR illuminator, Viz laser, and 1,000 lumen white light on the SMS HFXC. HFXC. Hello, son. um, and I got the Goonbeam white light there as well. This is the Benelli Super Vinci. And then I got a bunch of Glock Gen 545s. And then I got the 14.5 inch Mossberg 9. What are you again? 590, the Mossberg 590 Shockwave with a SBA faux brace, and then I got the 10.5 inch frag out Noveski barrel, Noveski gas system, Noveski gas tube and gas block, and the frag out upper and lower with the basically it's like BCM Geisley Arrow parts holding it all together with an SBA3. And then I got the Gideon Optics Mediator on that bad boy right there. And then a $199 Holosun 3X magnifier. And honestly, that thing has been great. And I don't shoot it. I don't run it. I don't do anything. Oh, did y'all see that there is an injunction on the FRTs right now? Okay. So it is totally lawful to own, purchase, use FRTs. Did you guys see? Because honestly, the FRT is dope, but I would really much rather have the third position, the 3-position FRT. That thing is usually like $700. Well, today on Delta Team Tactical, they're selling it for $499. $499? It was like $500. And I was like, ooh, I totally do not have the money for that. But I would totally love to. I think every single team, if you're out there and I'm telling y'all, the most important thing is that each of us has a team of 6 guys, 6 shooters, 6 door kicking, pipe hitting, meat eating mofos. If you're choosing to build a group, I think all of us should have 6 guys, 6 shooters. A fire team is 6 guys. Imagine if one of the men on that fire team had the ARPK kind of setup. If one of the men was a machine gunner role and had a 20-inch heavy barrel AR and then just drop an FRT in that thing, shit. I'm just saying that that would be a fire. So we talked about the, totally lawful civilian light machine gunner role. Was that I forgot how we worded it, but it was kind of like that. Still don't have one yet, though. I do have an FRT in one of the arrow lowers. Bro, I'm telling you, dog, that Anderson frontline has not had one malfunction, one problem. I don't even know how many rounds I gotten through it yet, but not a whole lot, like under 1,000 rounds. But man, I've been impressed with that thing, dude. I know a lot of people, take cheap shots at Anderson and call it the poverty pony and all that. If they knew how much stuff they OEM'd for other companies, their minds would blow, like literally blow up. It's funny too to know some stuff, some of the insider baseball, and have someone like holding a gun that is manufactured by Anderson with someone else's logo on it, and have them sit there saying, I would never own an Anderson. And it's like, you do. It's got someone else's name lasered on it. That's all that it is. But Anderson did a great job with the front line. 2 law enforcement agencies in Kentucky were making their guys purchase their own rifles. So Anderson, who's also in Kentucky, was like, okay, say less, we got this. They set up the I think they called it the Defender line, which basically they beefed up the BCGs and bolts, beefed up the gas system and all that, and they put together a duty grade rifle for like $600, and they were getting such great results with it with the 2 law enforcement agencies that they said, okay, so we'll start offering this to everyone, and we'll call it the front line. So now, civilians can order the duty grade Anderson called the front line. I just think that's cool, man. They're plus Kyle's my boy, but don't use code dark. Okay, please, please, please do not use code dark, because I heard that if you use code dark, it'll take off like 10% or something like that, and I don't want you guys having to go through that hassle. Okay, so please, I don't want to take from you. I don't want to take 10% off of your cost by using code dark at Anderson Manufacture Ing. Excuse me. .com. All right, guys, let's go ahead and close up. Look, I'm going to remind you guys that we are currently engaged in a culture war. It is not World War III. We're not on the cusp of World War III. We've been in World War III for many, 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 many years. We're fighting with other nations, including Izzy in China, and they hate us. And don't forget, also, our government hates us and wants us dead. And we're going to be creeping up on World War IV pretty soon here, depending on what happens, because this has been more of like a data and information war and like a war of the general populace. Does that make sense? So, yeah, guys, when we're in the middle of a culture war, it's important that you are a culture warrior. So make sure that you are as a man, being a great leader within your household, a spiritual leader, a great leader within your household, a leader within your community, a leader within your church. And I think it's important that we hold ourselves to higher standards, expectations. In the ways that we do that are creating rules. And some of the rules that I like to share with you guys at the end of every show there's more than just the 3 rules that I share, but the 3 rules of the rules that I like to share at the end of every show are shop at DLDhardware.com and shop at definitionknives.com. No, all jokes aside, rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on your life, on their life. So be kind. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. Also, rule number 3, my personal favorite, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you are becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I love y'all so much, and make sure you are getting right with your family and getting right with Christ. Christ is Lord. Christ is King. He just wants a relationship with you. He texts me all the time. It's great. I get to read through his text messages. It's great. But he's just waiting for a response from you. Some people say, I'm trying to seek God. I'm trying to, seek God. I've sought out God, and it doesn't work like that. God sought you out right before his ascension. So all you need to do is respond to him. Jesus loves you, and he died for your sins. I love all y'all. Thank you so much, guys. Remember, always keep a gun on you. And whoever said that you can't carry a gun and love Jesus, I don't know. It's crazy. I love y'all. Peace. I will tell you a quick bedtime story. I'll tell you a story of a train that crashed and dumped a bunch of chemicals everywhere. And then everyone said, how did this happen? And I was like, the government.